There we go. It's
You
on.
good?
Yep, it's
Sweet.
good.
Hello.
Hello, party people. It's
Yo.
wow.
Yo.
Hello.
Yo ho ho. Pirate now.
Yoo-hoo.
Yoo-hoo.
You.
Just for
Well,
people who may be
There's-
binging this in the future,
there's
screw
a
you. We had to wait
massive-
3.5 weeks for this.
Yeah, I feel a massive amount of brain cell loss occurring right now.
3.5 weeks for a very short session.
Okay.
Powerful.
So yeah, this is session 13, lucky 13, I think. Maybe it's 15. I'm not really sure what session it is.
Numbers.
Yeah, numbers. Of our go at No Room for a Wallflower, where we last left off, the players were in the midst of the summit between the Hyserian United Cities, Daylight, Hive Home, and Michael Fields, and had made some negotiations, made some headway, and had, but of course, with their lyrical powers, gotten the HUC to support Evergreen in their defense against the machine. Am I missing anything there?
Oh, muted. I think the specific thing we were leaving off on, and curse my memory, I don't watch the sessions over again. But I believe that the next thing we're going to do is reconvene the meeting to see about basically getting everyone to join up forces with Hive Home. And I was specifically calling up testimonials from the boys. We got Poison, Venom, one of those things. We got Bitter. Yeah. We got the one girls who I called her dad stupid.
Yeah.
Absolute squad energy.
Yep. So
Me
you
and
have
me and the crew.
Yeah, exactly. You have those testimonies pending between those three, and then Gear had also done some negotiations with Primrose to
Negotiations is a special word.
Yep, exactly. To see
I'm actually negotiating. I'm not just
You
yelling
are
at people and calling them dumb.
No, I'm referencing Kaiser blackmailing people.
Oh yeah, Kaiser's a bit more intense.
It's just one negotiations.
There's a lot of ways to negotiate. But yeah, you all have those folks about to speak on your behalf. Another thing, complicating factor that popped up is in the break of the summit, Nosimbo, your commander of the Right Horn, mentioned that there was a orbital kinetic kill weapon trained on the planet Hyrsenia, somewhere on the planet Hyrsenia. It was picked up by the Nayakamubi and Shaka aboard the Nayakamubi. She warned you all that there's a potentiality that it will likely hit somewhere on the city, either a HUC city or potentially Hive Home or Evergreen. And she noted that she is going with Dethal to preserve what is most sacred, i.e. Endeavor, the Egregorian hive mind. She told you all to finish up the summit and report back to her after it's done. Cool.
Didn't we get the who do we get? Who do we activate?
We took Indlenge, I believe.
You guys,
the engineering core.
Yeah.
You guys took the Lawrence Order MP Bongwani of the Indulenge. And yeah, he has a printer. He's an engineer.
Awesome.
So
more nerds on the team.
Bongwani will come some week or so. It takes time to get them to defrost and get all their stuff set up and then make their way to Hyrsenia.
Yeah, we gotta preheat the oven and all that.
Yeah,
put in the microwave
that's
for
how
2 minutes.
That's exactly how MPs work. Cool. Well, let's move you all over back to the summit as everyone is congregating into this kind of a meeting hall. We see you four joined at the table with the Assyrian United Cities leaders, Piotr, Primrose, and Dethal. He's somewhere around here, but I don't know where he's at. He's somewhere around here.
Somewhere around here.
Yeah, somewhere around here. Psalm is for some reason. There we go. Psalm. Get off. Get in the bleachers, Psalm.
Taking you off the team, son. I found a
Get out of
call.
here.
You're benched.
Yeah. Terror starts in as they kind of ring the notification that the summit is beginning again, and they say, "So, it is decided the Assyrian United Cities will make way for Evergreen. We shall aid them, and in turn, aid ourselves. Our guests here, those of Mfecane and otherwise, have made it plain that the benefit of Evergreen is a benefit of us all. I will pause now and leave the floor for any closing remarks." Dethal and Bitter and Venom look to you, Q, and then Piotr stares you steely-eyed across the table. Well, I think Piotr's kind of, still stares you steely-eyed across the table of gear.
Yeah.
Is this closing remarks specifically about like Evergreen, or is this
This is
like
the
going into the
moment
next
you would have, this is the moment you would have people kind of speak to, so Bitter, Psalm, and them would speak on your behalf.
Yeah.
So, if I recall correctly, get his name. The guy I talked to wanted me
Primrose.
to.
Yep.
Yeah, Primrose wanted me to get a proper evacuation of his people.
Correct.
From someone. It's been a while.
From Ilar.
Okay. I've forgotten
I
how to
think it's
roleplay.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Been a while, huh?
All right, Kia will I guess speak up. As yeah, it is imperative that the people of Daylight receive a proper evacuation, so that we can avoid them being killed and picked off as they come to Highfirm. Is anyone capable of providing that? They'll look towards the Ilya, sort of hinting at maybe he should help.
Okay. Primrose will chime in and say, "Our friend makes a good point. Here in Highfoam, y'all are well protected, Ilar. Given the situation and given that we'll be aiding Evergreen, I feel it's in our best interest to gather our forces and secure our most vulnerable populations, ergo Daylight." Ilar says, kind of grunts for a little bit, unfolding his arms that were previously folded, and he says, "Joining up might. No, it might be good. Yes, it might be good. Highfoam is the best of the Assyrian United Cities. We all know this. And a congregation, an accumulation of the HUC in one place could prove beneficial for any attacks we may have to launch against the machine.
Oh, it's fun.
I agree with this."
Q kind of will not quite stand up, but make his presence known as they say this. And he kind of clears his throat and he says, "To that point, there are those who I wish to act as familiar voices who I believe can give some insight into not just the benefits in a potential attack, but simply coming together as one people. And he will nod to his Hyrsinian colleagues.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything to say?
Hmm.
Cool. So Terror will look at Dethal and Bitter and Psalm and say, "Is there someone who would like to speak? I get the sense. No, I know. There are some words left unsaid. Please, step up. Don't hold your tongue." Dethal will step up first. And Dethal will say, she walks up and then kind of just stands amongst the crowd here, kind of a little south of you all, and says, "I don't know these pilots of Evergreen, of Union, from what I've been told by Gear, that well. But what I do know in our short time is that the impression is just the impression they've left upon me and the impression they've left upon those they've interacted with of us Hysunians thus far. While we all know," and she kind of looks around and kind of circles a little bit, looking at the crowd, "while we all know the crimes of Union still leave their scar here on Hyrsenia, I believe these pilots represent the Union's attempt to ameliorate their transgressions. I want to make it be known formally that I support them and I support Evergreen." And then she kind of steps away. Terror starts in and says, "Anyone else? Bitter, you, I sense you would like to speak." And then Bitter walks up. "Dethal is right. These pilots have done much. They come from Mfecane, a people who were once broken, but now exist in harmony, in one. They've saved many of our kin. I was just on a mission with them. They took care with avoiding destruction of our people. This speaks volumes. They understand that we, Egregorians and Hyrsinians, must all survive, and we must all protect and look out for one of another. I, like Dethal, also support them." And then Bitter kind of bows out and walks away. And Psalm, which is kind of uncharacteristic of Psalm because he's kind of like this cool dude.
That's my boy.
This kind of this cool dude. He doesn't even walk up to the podium. And he just stands up and speaks loudly and says, "Any of you, all of you, know that if someone meets us in the battlefield and joins arms, they can be trusted. I've met the one they call Qui'Tippe, a Biku, their call sign. Their heart is in the right place. If any of you should have any doubt about these pilots' intentions, you'll have to deal with me."
You just hear kind of from Q, you just kind of hear softly, "Woo! Let that nigga down." I'm joking. I'm joking.
Primrose speaks up and says, "Well, it seems you all have been quite quite busy. I don't know about the populace of Daylight, but it sure seems like Hive Home is in support of you all. And if you can garner the support of Hive Home, you can count me in, Daylight in. And Primrose puts his hand on the table. Ilar says, agreed. More pilots, more weapons, more defense makes us ever more stronger against the machine. We will aid as well with our fists, our mechs, and our hearts. And then Piotr says, I don't have much to say. If my compatriots of the HUC support you all, then you must be sound and reasonable. Michael Fields will also support you. Tara's going to start to speak, but if you guys want to say anything, go ahead.
I think I'm good.
Beep boop.
Cool. Tara says, that settles it then. We will aid Evergreen. We will aid. Oh, Daylight will send their forces here to Hive Home. And Michael Field will also support us. I must say, I didn't expect this outcome, but I welcome it. The HUC will be much stronger, and us, we, as together, all of us, will be much stronger. With that, we will conclude the summit. I hope you all have had your fill. Thank you. And then Tara kind of bows out, and you see the crowd kind of stand up, and you hear a soft and not like too forced applause from the crowd, because it seems like you all have very much so swayed everyone here, not only the leaders of the HUC, but also the crowd and congregation here to your cause. Primrose, not Ilar, but Primrose and Piotr get up and start to make their way outside of the summit. There's a bit of time for you all to kind of have side conversations if you'd like.
Hearts in mind, Kanya. Hearts in mind.
Don't have to tell me.
Also, Lord, forgive me, I am a simp for Venom.
We
all know.
we know.
We're aware.
No.
He's just cool. He's just a generic cool guy. I like him. He's really cool.
Thirsty as fuck.
Gear, before Primrose leaves, they approach you and kind of give you, extend their right hand and kind of give you a pat on your shoulder and say, well, just make sure Ilar holds up on their end of the bargain. I don't think you know the history between us, but I'm not so sure that bastard speaks the words of truth. But I might be wrong.
Kanya over his shoulder, just like, that's fine. If he ever wants to talk to anyone again, they let me in the comms network.
Gear will give a nod and say, I will try my best to get him to do what he said he will do.
That's all I can ask. I'll catch y'all again. I'm gonna make preparations. I need to get my folks from Daylight over here. Hope to see you on the flip side. Gear.
Yes. Good luck.
So yeah, you see Primrose kind of walk out with his security detachment and secretaries. You, I would say, you probably, Joseph, you notice this. You see a secretary rush up to him very hurriedly, and Primrose looks like distressed as his head kind of juts back a little bit and starts to hurry a little bit outside of the summit. You know that he got the message. He got the message that you blackmailed him.
Heard her.
Mm.
Kanye sort of
Wow.
calls Legion over to his camera, or over to his Omni hook that he still got set up, and he's just pointing at a picture, and it's a short little video of Primrose freaking out, looking at the tablet.
I have a question.
Preach.
Does Psalm still have the teddy bear?
Not on him.
Not on his
but
person?
Yeah, you would assume he has a teddy bear. Yeah.
Okay. I think I would approach Psalm, Zathalin, Bitter rather.
Dethal's gonna head out. Actually, she
Okay.
left pretty quickly. But
Yeah,
Bitter and
she-
I was like, I said what I need to say. Bye.
I did my
Zathal's like,
speech today.
Zathal's like, get a room, you two. Bitter's just like doesn't even know what's going on. But no, I will approach my peers who remain, and I kind of look at Psalm and I say, "Those who wish to do me wrong will have to go through you, huh?" And I kind of smirk, and then I kind of offer my hand, in the classic Predator strongman handshake, and I say, "Then I shall watch your back as you watch mine."
Psalm will happily take your hand, kind of in a shaking motion, and with his left arm, give you a kind of like a soft knuckle punch on the shoulder, and says,
Never washing this hand again.
he says, like what you gave me, I am certain everything will be okay. And then he pulls out the teddy bear from the back of his satchel and hands it back to you. It's all sewed up.
I clutch it. I don't cry because men don't cry. I'm joking. But I kind of clutch it, kind of feeling the weight of it, and I kind of do a nodding bow to him. Yes, I have hope that you are right. And I pocket the teddy bear away in my own kind of storage space.
Cool. Psalm's gonna offer. I don't know what you're doing after this, but I could take some time to repair my mech.
Ooh.
I've seen your, what do you call it, Chetsueo. I would like to learn more about it.
We fucking it?
Let's go that space, probably.
No. Q nods, and he gets a bit of a smile. It is easy to forget that he is also an engineer. There are like 6 engineers on this team. It's weird. Then Mfecane was really like send the build it team. But no, Q kind of nods and he gets a smile on his face. I would happily shut the fuck up.
Oh my gosh.
I,
Oh my gosh. Let's be
oh
real,
god,
fellas,
you
this is
got
the
me
OTP of the
derailed.
series.
I would happily show you more. Let us
Arr.
compare notes.
Arr.
Kanye looks at Gear, has like the eyebrows high, lids flat look. It's like, mm-hmm.
Have I accidentally created a gay man? Yes.
Hell yeah.
Accidentally.
Am I regretful of
Sexuality is
it?
fluid.
No.
Nothing's by accident.
That's my little boob.
If they want to smash, don't matter. Labels, just keen.
All right. What about
Look,
what about the
if anyone was ever wondering why Qui'Tippe and Uwalzi didn't end up together, it's because Venom. Absolute home wrecker.
Okay. What about
Better not
what
hit
about the
with
rest
that
of y'all?
charm.
What are the rest of you guys doing?
Gear is probably like there was problems with the Saint Tellus folks looking at attacking, right?
Maybe.
Like in the potential immediate future.
There is a potentiality that happened. They've already attacked, and presumably they've gotten what they want, which whatever that was, right? You don't know what that is. You probably have to talk to Default, but she's missing.
Okay. All right. Well, Gear in that case, we'll probably just go set their mech up and make sure there's no Bastinians climbing on it. And set up for the assault. I guess assault on Evergreen is not the appropriate term. The offensive defense of Evergreen.
Yes.
The
Salvage
one
of
scene from
Evergreen.
Lord of the Rings of Evergreen.
Yes. Yes.
Here,
Yes.
as you head out, Ilar is going to stop you for a moment and say,
Oh yeah.
"We've agreed. Evergreen, its defense, its salvation is the HUC's priority. Gear, would you mind taking time with me to strategize an attack pattern?
I am not the finest of strategists, but I can give it a shot.
Any of your compatriots would like to join, they are welcome."
Gear will send out a message on the data plating that Ilya wants to talk strategy.
Thanks, but no thanks. Here, and he basically all the data he had out at the briefing, he just sends to Gear. It's like, probably make it easier.
Okay.
Nice.
Kids have fun.
Cool. So, Gear, you and Ilar head off to go discuss strategy.
Color
Joseph.
in some maps.
I think Kaiser feels like he's done his job for now, and he's gonna have set up a little bit of a place down like a mat and make some tea.
Nice. You're gonna
tea.
do it right here at the summit of place, or you're gonna head out somewhere and do it?
Probably like outside where who's that one guy that sold us tea?
Winter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, you can head on out. You're probably asked a few questions by some of the other High Syrians here. They one are congratulating you, not congratulating, but like kind of well, I guess it's kind of like congratulation and such, but also like just being thankful that you're here. So yeah, you head out and you do see Winter out there. Winter's the crowd around Winter is for some of their tea is kind of dwindling, and you do get a moment to kind of trade recipes, or I think that was a promise you made earlier about showing them how to make better tea, essentially.
Yes. I think Kaiser would offer, but not in public.
Gotcha. Cool. Kanya.
He's actually gonna go to Bitter.
Cool.
What?
That's
Hey,
family shit. I don't know where Binter is at.
He's over here.
Bitter is. I thought Bitter was over here. Yeah.
He's like outside.
Oh,
There you
he's
go.
yeah,
right.
there he is.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, you got him.
If
Bitter was blending in, very good at it.
yeah, I was wondering, we've got some time before full deployment. Would you be willing to trade history a little bit?
Bitter extends one of its one of their forelimbs and says, "Yes." And on the forelimb is a osteomimetic tablet, and he says, "Yes, this was recovered from your last mission. It tells of a very beautiful story, a poem which was lost many years ago, a famous one. Would you like to hear it?
Absolutely.
We must go. I
Hmm.
need time to digest it, understand it. And by lost, you probably get the inclination. Maybe this is just like intuition. You mean intentionally? They mean intentionally destroyed by Union. They say, we must understand it, but it's only best to do so over food. What do you like?
Something salty.
We have that. And you head off with Bitcher to understand what is on this tablet and exchange histories. We see you all, well, with Kanya's departure, we see the lights of the summit room kind of dim and then finally turn out as only people who are left here are Terror, and Purter, who are having a discussion in the back. The rest of the people kind of head out as well. And you all break for High Phone. High Phone proper.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, during like the strategy talk that I would have had, I'd also like sprinkle in the importance of the proper evacuation of civilians, to sort of hammer home that Fyodor needs to do his work. Or Ilya.
Okay.
I can't remember. There's so many names that my brain is fried.
I know, a lot of NPCs. Cool. Let's dig a little bit deeper into this. So,
Oh, sure.
Abiku, you and Venom find yourselves in the mech hangar where we're in the midst of a conversation between you and Psalm / Venom about the design of the Chetsuayo. He asks you, and what are these designs? These curves? They are not
Ooh.
not like anything I've seen.
Perfect hip sway. Perfect hip sway.
Venom's talking about the mech. He's talking about the mech.
Sure, Saka, sure.
That half size, personally designed, very particular body styled mech.
Well, you see, I had mine custom shaped him.
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna. I'm sorry. He kind of like gives a chuckle and he says, "The from here I am better able to store the chaff missiles. It makes giving guidance and direction to my team far easier. And see here." And I kind of point out some other features to them as we're talking. We can keep it PG. We can keep it PG. It's okay.
Cool. Venom says, interesting. Would you mind if I take a step on to the cockpit of your Tetsuayo?
Points, second base.
We have reached second base.
He's going into my cockpit.
Damn right he is.
No, please, feel free. And I kind of present it. I tap a few buttons on the side, and it kind of opens up back from the back. It opens up from the back, a la like Iron Man suit. And I kind of like
Present was a choice
motion.
of word.
Yeah, no, he's going in from the back.
Oh. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
We are all children. We are all children.
No one knows what we're talking about.
No one knows what we're talking about. How would they know?
No.
No,
This is the internet.
This
You
is
think
just when Mfecane historians look back on this moment, they will say these two men were very good friends.
Exactly.
you look back You
Pretty
look
much.
back at like the oral history
my
from
God.
both Gear and Kanya. Yeah, they fucked.
Oh, they smashed. They smashed
Yeah.
daily.
They were buried together, holding hands. Shaka, very
my
good
God.
friends.
Oh yeah, they were just really, really close.
Really,
That's all.
really good friends, like
mean,
brothers.
I mean, seriously,
They were
every night
roommates.
they
Oh
didn't
my
even
God, they
pad
were
the walls.
roommates.
Yeah,
we're,
no.
not, we're not we're not playing. We're not snowing anyone. Everyone knows what's going on.
They would do karaoke really late at night. It was weird, but really good friends.
Exactly. Yeah. Venom steps on his side, and as he steps on his side, he's kind of getting used to the Chetswile and probably speaks a little bit, but it's muffled. As that occurs, Q, you feel a rumble, almost like your ankles are shaking and shifting. Pause. We go to someone else. Downfall.
Mhm.
What are you doing?
Essentially, while he's prepping that, sitting down, having some food, I'm answering any questions he has, either about Mfecane culture that I know or Union.
Gotcha. Bitter starts in and says, and passes you some fried, what seems to be vegetables, and says, and what are the sagnomas? That is it.
They're the masters of our oral history. Keepers and historians, they're liars. They-
Liars.
Damn.
yeah. But sometimes that's a good thing. Um, uh, they keep the
Please
stories.
explain.
They keep the stories, but change them so that someone can learn from them, or to hide a truth that would harm others. They are the most ass backward. I'm hurting you to help you kind of. They're a lot. Don't even get me started on the weird animal people.
Nice. Okay. Bitter says, interesting. It seems much like our witness, both a recollection of true events, but also one's personal interpretation of what is. There's some similarities between us, but also these lies you mentioned, quite peculiar.
Yeah, they're weird. You can call them weird.
Kanya, tell me, what do you think of Hive Home?
Honestly, it's beautiful. Eh, in a in a way I literally cannot explain to you. As he looks up and sees patterns in the aqueduct in like the perfect, and just literally looks at the world, and the camera shifts to his point of view for a moment. It's just literally limitless shapes and forms in ways. There is an energy here that I've never felt.
Bitter peers at you a bit more, almost like not looking at your face or your physical appearance, but looking at who you are. You get that sense, and they have like multiple eyes, so all these eyes are fixated on you. They say, "Is there something else?" While you are not tuned into witness, I get the intuition there's another presence with you.
Maybe. I honestly don't know. But yeah.
Kanya, your eyes wander like errant flies in the summer sky.
Were your eyes wandering, Kanye? Where they wandering to, huh? What you looking at?
They seem to
Looking at my
follow.
boy.
They seem to follow lines Not there. Pictures, non existent. Excuse me if I'm intrusive. These are the things I sense from you.
It's like a tapestry on every atom, and it scares the shit out of me.
Fear can be a good thing, Kanya. But what I see is something different. Intrusion, possibly.
I assumed so. I considered it might even be an infection. But let's just say the method of transmission, I have a horrible feeling I know where it came from.
Bitter extends both of their forelimbs and holds both of your hands unprompted and without asking for permission, and says, Kanya, you are strong. That much from seeing you. Whatever it is that sends your eyes in patterns, I'm sure you can conquer it. They finish with that statement. A loud
Shaka,
Shaka, you cut out.
you cut out.
on the ground,
You cut out.
and Bitter falls off of their seat. Pause on you.
Okay.
Scalpel, your turn.
Shaka, you cut out. We missed that entire last bit.
Yeah, you.
shit.
We heard
Can y'all hear me?
Bitter falls over. That's
Son
all.
of a
That's all we got.
There we go.
Shaka,
My bad.
Curse you,
My bad.
Discord.
My bad.
can
All right,
blame it
what
all
y'all
on
hear?
the
What y'all hear last? What y'all hear last?
Not any of it. Yeah, we
Yeah,
had none of
we
that.
missed the middle and got a bit of the end.
What's the last thing I said?
Bitter fell over, but we didn't hear anything before.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Kind of a loud and kind of cantankerous shot goes through Bitter's house, sending a kind of crack through the ceiling. A pot falls off on the ground. Several pots fall off on the ground. Bitter falls off of their seat, and we pause on you. Scalpel, your turn.
Oh dear. Yeah, I guess we're talking about them strategies and all that, and Gear's just giving advice and like how they've been fighting the Max, the subalterns and all that, and giving some perspective from like their time as a mercenary and things that will help. That the way they've been fighting so far has just been guerrilla style. So Gear's been in a couple of full-on assaults, so they'd be able to give some decent advice regarding that. They also like pop in like reiterations of the civilians of like all of the towns, particularly Daylight though, need proper evacuations so that it's like stuck in their brains basically.
Okay. Ilar will take all that in and will say to you, Gear, tell me, what are the priority targets in Evergreen? Things you would want the machine to take hold of when we do launch our assault on Evergreen, our protection assault, defense, if you call it that. We need to know what we will protect first.
Well, obviously there's the printer. That is one of the highest priorities. There's also any of the long-range communications. We don't want it getting off-world. That is very dangerous. There would also be the where they hold up in the governor's farm.
Yep, Governor's Farm, yep.
There is also, of course, Governor's Farm, in which all of the current survivors are fighting for their lives, and I would prefer not to have any more of them die.
Ilar says, Thank you. But what of your ghost? The one that is seeps through and travels without encumbrance. What are they? Should we aid them, kill them, or take them?
Do you mean patients, the NHP?
The ghost, yes.
Ah, I see. Well, that's a difficult question. I suppose it would be worth asking Endeavour what they think is the best course of action.
Don't mind Endeavor. I act in the HUC's better interest.
Endeavour is the best one to ask for the best interest of the HUC.
Endeavor's thoughts are mine.
Yes. So what is Endeavour's idea regarding patients?
Well, there's not an overwhelming majority, which is why I'm asking you. If it were my way, we end that ghost, dispersing it into the ether of Hercinia. Though I don't know exactly how to do that.
Well, that's where it gets incredibly complicated. There are likely backups. There are likely, other locations in which it's held. You would have to scour the entire planet if you wanted to truly kill it. There is also the problem of it is potentially quite a useful thing to have. A asset, essentially. I will admit I'm not fond of them, personally, but in the interests of attaining victory against the machine, it might be worth salvaging it and using it for using them for our own purposes. It's hard to say, though, what is not only most effective, but also what's ethical. It's one of those questions.
Understood. So if I understand this completely, your recommendation is to capture this ghost rather than destroy it, because destroying something so elusive could prove difficult.
I wouldn't use the word capture. I'm sure that they will be rather grateful that we, saved them, assuming everything goes well. So preferably diplomatic. However, if they are combative, then I think capturing would be a preferable solution.
Understood. Kier, since I'll be sending a majority of the Hive Home's forces of the HUC Rangers to take back Evergreen, I need to know undeniably what we should do if we encounter resistance from the NHP, as you put it.
It depends on what sort of resistance. If it gets violent, then respond in a way that will hopefully result in its capture, but we all know how those things go. It can sometimes get a bit messy. I honestly doubt, unless the machine has it, that it will be offensive to us.
And what if there are those who will protect this patience? What happens to them? I hope you get the
I get what you mean, and we need to use diplomacy with everybody we can. Obviously, they know us, me and my Mfecane allies. We can talk to them if you have troubles with them. They will be immensely indebted, having been saved, so I don't think it will be as much of a problem as you feel it will be. We need to avoid violence against anything but the machine right now.
I can understand that. But I'll hope you know that diplomacy within the concept of war is like oil to water. It doesn't
Are we
mix.
at war with Evergreen?
We're at war with the machine.
Yes.
And how am
so
I
we're
supposed
not
to?
at war with Evergreen.
How am I supposed to know your compatriots' feelings, thoughts, and perceptions are shared by your Evergreen allies?
Well, have you ever saved someone from a difficult situation, one in which they might die?
Yes.
Yes, good. Then you understand that people that just recently got saved by someone are incredibly grateful and don't tend to lash out in violence.
The moment where they find you in your weakest point.
We won't be at our weakest point. And they are definitely having problems with their effectiveness. They've
I love how
lost a lot
paranoid
of
this man
troops.
is.
Yeah, this man is just
He's so
wanting to
fucking
murder.
paranoid.
He's paranoid as fuck. He had some bad hash.
he is like Drax the Destroyer levels of
Seriously, this dude just
so
wants to kill
bad.
people. He just wants to get in there and absolutely do horrible things.
Cool. Well, as you say that, Ilar says, I won't protest any further. Know that I trust you. Though you'll have to excuse me if I'm hesitant to trust those you represent, the people you say are just and sound and need salvation. Their histories, their forefathers, mothers, and elders haven't been kind to Harsinia.
I'm aware. However, in situations like these, we need to try our best to put trauma behind us and to help each other recover.
As you say, put trauma behind us, a crack runs through the table that you all are meeting at.
Oh no!
Ilar gets a come in from someone. He exclaims, "What?" and looks at you and rushes out of the door, telling you to come with him. All right, Kaiser, your turn. Just having tea, right by winter.
Oh yeah, in a nice place by the shoreline, nice and quiet. Yeah, Kaiser is gonna bring out his like nice little tea set, and it's of course it's like the gaudiest thing ever. It's like porcelain with like
Where do
two
you keep this tea set? Where?
Would you like to know?
where the milk tea goes. SSC Soul Suit works in mysterious ways.
Okay,
God.
Yeah, and so he takes out a bag of tea leaves, although they look kind of weird, and it's more like a ball that looks like it's made of mud and tea leaves. And he starts steeping it, and he says, I remember that you said that there is a lack of ingredients due to, well, the past, what has been done to the surface. And to think about it, I would say that although I had, uh, although this may not mean much, I apologize for my ancestors' actions. But enough of that. It's not. We were just about to. I'm about to teach you how to make some proper tea, the SSC method. Have you
Winter.
heard?
Go ahead.
Oh, have you heard of puree?
Pure air.
Hmm.
Okay. Winter joins you as you're explaining this, and we get a scene of both of you kind of by the underground seaside of one of these islands on in Hive Home. They tower over you, some triple or quadruple your body size. Of course, they are a war form, egregorian, built and designed and grown to kill. But they handle the tea delicately, looking at you and in an almost a strange acuteness, trying to understand exactly the words that are coming out of your mouth and the actions you make with your hand, the delicate actions you make with your hand with your tea set. You may say, puree. No, haven't heard of it before. And
Well,
the subtext you get behind that is that Union only brought guns. They didn't bring tea.
well, while I was here, I did manage to make some fine ingredients for tea. And, well, let's have a drink. And he takes the tea and he's like, no, this tea is different from most that you've had. This one comes especially from Cradle, pre-fall. And
Cradle.
yes, it is the home. It is said to be the home of all of humanity. Although we do not know much, tea is something that never will die out.
Hell yeah.
Cheers, bro. I'll drink to that.
And he takes the first sip and he says, uh, "Do you like your tea earthy?"
Oh
Winter
my god,
says,
really?
Winter takes a sip and then says, exquisite hints of sage and rhubarb and other confections. Where did you get such a thing?
It was all found with ingredients here. I did not put any of those there. You see, this planet has been scarred, but there's a source of life in it. Something that's recovering. And he takes out the ball of tea and he uh, drains the pot, puts in more boiling water, and because he has a electric kettle.
Where did you keep all this?
When it's tea time, it's tea time. It's more like a plate that's like heats up, like a stove plate, and he just steeps another one, and he puts the same ball of leaves and mud and tea in. And he's like, for the second one, this is a. I find that you'll find this familiar. It's a wood-like taste. It's not my thing, but it's slightly sweet. And then he takes a few moments to enjoy it before handing him the cup of tea and starting to re-steep it, doing the same process of emptying the water, putting in new ones. And he's like, you see, the thing about pure air is it's not like your normal tea in that you can use it multiple times. It really doesn't go bad for a while. In fact, I say that a good tea never goes bad. It just simply changes over time. Now, this one might have a smoky taste. And although many people describe it as bitter, I find that it's not actually bitter at all. It's something that you believe to be bitter, something that you don't like. And he steeps it a couple more times. He's like, the bitterness in the tea starts to fade, and there's like a faint fragrance. And he keeps doing that until he serves it. This probably goes on for like a long time, like 10 steeps. And he says, okay, well, we're getting to the end of this. It's an interesting journey because at this point, he starts to smell it and it has a faint flowery smell. It's like, you see, what was once full of life turned bitter over time with the right preparations. It becomes something new. But I do miss the first steep. But the thing is, with this set of tea leaves, we'll never get that back. And he pulls out like a bunch of the finest SSC genetically modified flower leaves like chrysanthemum, jasmine, and dandelions. He's like, all that you taste from there on out was something that was found on Hercynia. And I find that fascinating because the only other place that I've known like that was, well, Cradle itself. Although it's like Hercynia, Cradle is recovering. Here are some leaves from the very planet, or as I am told, it might be from that planet. And he hands it over, and it tastes like a spectrum of tastes.
Mhm.
It's like a lot of different teas, and it changes flavor just every time you sip it. And he says, "You see, now I did take these off from my own world, but when you combine what you have here with what we can offer, I think you'll notice that it's not the same as it used to be, but it's definitely something new, something good, flavorful, wonderful. And the best thing is, when you have something as good as this, I think it's best to share it with others."
Nice. Who knew we were gonna get blessed by a tea monologue? Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was unexpected, but it's exactly what I needed. Now I feel like having a
I'm into it. I want some fucking tea
Blessed.
right now.
Blessed. Winter, as you were saying all this, Winter folds their legs in, and their menacing body, which towers, some, over you rather, just the body that towers over you, it just kind of folds in, and it almost looks like they are a child in your hands as you're instructing them on these fragrances and types of tea. As you said something about how a tea, how you kind of first steeped that one tea, and it you steeped it many more times, and it changed into different tastes. And the former taste is not bad or good. It was just just something different. He Winter, or they kind of nodded their head and in agreement, and almost like you were just imparting straight up knowledge into them. Winter has issues with memory, but you see them, you get the feeling, and maybe this is your attachment to witness, you get the feeling that they internalized all of this, and that this message was also carried on to Endeavor itself.
And then he starts to put his tea away, making one final cup, and he says, "You know what makes us best, though? Milk." And that's where he's gonna.
Woo! Woo! Milk,
Damn.
tea, milk, tea, milk, tea.
Wait, we can't hear you, Legion. We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Legion.
No!
Drinks the milk tea, and
Oh, we missed that a little bit, Legion. We missed a
You
little
put
bit.
milk in your tea. We didn't hear you putting milk in your tea.
oh yeah, he just he says, "You know what's my favorite type of tea?" And then he puts in a ton of milk into the tea. Probably more milk than tea.
Don't put too much milk in your
It's
tea. I
like-
love your tea. Oh, no.
He says, "Oh, I drink that quickly. You never know when you might not have time to enjoy something like this for long."
Mm.
I never know when I'm not going to be able to enjoy something, so I just chug it.
Joseph,
Just slam
Joseph,
it down.
as you put that tea, or you put the milk, or you're putting milk in Winter's glass, right?
Yeah,
Cup,
also.
rather. Yeah. As you're pouring the milk into Winter's cup, you see Winter stand up violently, towering over you once again, extending both of their scythe-like forearms. You see a shadow. Next thing you see, this is all in seconds. Next thing you see is a shadow cast over you, obscuring some of the LED lights here in Hive Home. It's just encompassing your whole body as you stare down on the ground. Winter juts out and kind of does like a side swipe motion above your head, and you see a boulder kind of crumble below you and go splashing into the ground. And Winter says, come here, as more boulders around you from the top of the wall and stalactites start falling onto Hive Home. Exactly after that, all of you, each and every single one of you, feel a burst of heat and kind of molten rock pass by the caverns of Hive Home, kind of sending your clothing in a kind of like a wind kind of brush motion. The rest of Hive Home begins to shake like federal rock sounds as other buildings start to crash and kind of fall over. Next thing you hear are screams that erupt from around you. Something has happened. No Simbo comes into you all and says, "Take cover! I have endeavor! There's something coming!" And we will pause right there.
Nerk. Or nerk.
I'm assuming we just got hit by that orbital kinetic kill weapon, huh?
I don't
I
know.
think we just got OKW.
Either that or our buddy from Mfecane just made one hell of an entrance.
Or
Yeah.
Biku and
That's just how he gets you.
or
It's just
Biku
like, oh, fuck it.
and Venom are getting on really well.
Oh.
Let's
Oh.
okay.
Oh
Okay.
my.
Yeah, the
Oh
soundtrack for this
my.
game is just like an hour of smooth, sexy jazz.
No,
Let me check with you guys. How much time do we have?
like
We have about 30 minutes.
yeah, but half
Okay, we'll just pause right there. We'll just pause right there. Pick it up next time.
Sorry, friendos, I have
Did
appointments.
on that really?
Yeah, we're gonna pause.
I mean, it's a
right on
very
that
good
point.
cliffhanger. It is a
Yeah, no,
very
excellent.
The next time the session starts, I'm gonna be in Venom's arms. So I don't know about you, but win.
So you're telling me that
Absolute win.
you're telling me
Wait,
the
no,
entire
okay.
the entire credits for this one, as well as the opening credits of the next one, is just going to be Careless Whispers playing in the background.
Exactly.
Even if the sun's outside, even if the sun's outside,
Oh, God.
I got faith in you and I.
Oh my god. I'm glad we're all making those personal connections.
Honest, yeah,
very,
it's great to,
very
you know,
personal
make
connection.
some personal, totally platonic connections.
Totally platonic, very good.
Yeah,
friends.
they were roommates. They were just
They were roommates. We're roommates.
It's
You
Smash
do
Cuts.
bros
In the
too.
same room.
It's
Yeah,
Smash.
the Segnomers will say, there was this pilot on Hyceria and another one named Psalm. They held hands together in the sunset, but other things happened as well we won't speak of. I don't know.
And
what else.
then the immediate next freaking oral recording is recording of Psalm Naff.
Oh,
Segment
yeah.
We got Bumba Grunt ASMR going.
Look, I don't know when the next part of Wallflower comes out, but if however many years down the line we finish Wallflower and Q somehow makes it out of this crap alive and we get to go back to Ukuwa Station, you better. I'm taking my husband.
Hell yes, get your mans.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's late, but I want to just scream out, "Yeah!"
Oh my god. Oh man. Well, that T monologue was good, Legion. That was good.
That was
was
Yeah,
dope.
I'm
dope.
always down for T monologue.
You told me that you're gonna talk to Winter about T, but I wasn't expecting that.
Oh
You
yeah.
were you were not expecting the wisdom of ages from the most twisted point of view.
Exactly. From the stealth blackmailing SSC super soldier.
It's like my ancestors called upon me and said, "Pure is actually shit." But I didn't listen.
How do we get to this point?
Man, I don't know.
Okay, well, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
kind of.
wild.
I
Thanks, folks.
sometimes forget this is being
Next
recorded.
time, can love bloom on the battlefield?
No, do not bring that evil on us.
I should probably not do that on the battlefield.
Like serious, unless you've got expanded compartment in your Tetsuya.
Evil.
It's like,
Enough room for two.
your mech's moving oddly in there, huh?
Goodbye.
Love
All right,
to.
bye stream.
Thanks, bus
All right.
driver.
Bye,
Bye.
stream.
Thank you, bus
Oh my
driver.
god. Okay.